had permission to say anything critical of Chinese politics.
This is Buddhist Books Podcast, episode 197. This is a special episode because I'm going to be watching, reacting and reviewing, as they say on YouTube, to the movie Kundun. So a little bit of background. For those who don't know, I think most of the people watching these videos are in northeastern India and Bhutan, as well as Nepal. So hello, everybody over there. Maybe there's one or two Americans watching, I don't know. But for those who don't know, in mainstream American Hollywood movies and TV shows, there used to be a lot of Tibetan Buddhism.
I am first going to tell you a little bit about the country called Tibet. The first Tibetan king to be touched by the Dharma was King Hathatha Rignan Butsan. He and succeeding kings were collectively known as the Happy Generations.
References to Tibet, stories that take place revolving around Tibetan Buddhism. The Golden Child was one of my favorites as a kid. There was the beginning of Ace Ventura 2, for instance, where he's in a Tibetan monastery. The Shadow went up to a Tibetan monastery to gain, the wisdom that allowed him to harness his dark side and become the Shadow. It's a comic book. Up until 1997, I believe 7 Years in Tibet with Brad Pitt came out that year, as well as Kundun, which is a name given to the Dalai Lama, His Holiness. You've probably heard of him. You might also have heard of the director Martin Scorsese. He's famous for movies like The Goodfellas. Honestly, I've never seen that. Taxi Driver, I have seen that. And a number of other movies. The Silence was one of his more recent ones about the Jesuits going to Japan. And The Irishman, I think. Didn't see that one. Anyway, he's famous. He's one of the top 5 famous directors. And he, in 1997, or leading up to the release of this movie in 1997, he met with His Holiness the Dalai Lama. If you're watching this on the video version, you saw a clip with him and His Holiness together. And, worked out the details of this movie, and it's meant to be a biopic of the early life of the Dalai Lama, starting with him being discovered. He was in a village, a 3-year-old, I believe, or 4, and they found him through various means and up until his exile. So these are all historical events, so there isn't really anything I can spoil. I saw this probably in the theater with my mom, if I'm not mistaken, when it came out in 1997. And then something happened. Disney was the parent company of the studio making this film, if I recall correctly. And they were in the middle of working out a deal with the Chinese government to build a Disneyland in Shanghai, which of course means lots and lots of money for Disney, right? And basically, the president at the time of the Chinese Communist Party was outraged by Kundun accurately reflecting historical events, contrary to the Chinese propaganda in which the Tibetans were oh so happy when the PL, the People's Liberation, whatever, when the Chinese army came in the 40s or early 50s, and they were so happy to be reunited with China, who had ruled them since ancient times. Something like that is like the basic party line that the Chinese government feeds to its people. So obviously Kundun didn't reflect that. It told something probably a lot closer to the actual story of what happened. So China wasn't having that. They said, you know what, Disney? You can take your Disneyland Shanghai and shove it where the sun doesn't shine, or words to that effect. That's not an exact quote. But here's something that is an exact quote, was the CEO of Disney at the time apologizing and saying that Kundun was a stupid mistake. And they promised that they would bury it. It would get no distribution. You would not be able to find it anywhere. And to this day, 26 years later, you will not find Kundun on Disney Plus or Netflix or Amazon. I mean, you can find DVD and Blu-ray for like $40, $50. It can be mailed to you if you still have one of those antique DVD or Blu-ray players. But yeah, you can't stream it anywhere. It used to be available on YouTube. And so when I first thought of doing this, making this video, I was thinking, I can easily show the whole movie and just have me in the corner and it'll be no problem. But it's been removed even from YouTube. Disney/China does not want anyone ever to see this movie, except for people who have Blu-ray, but that's like 1% of 1% of the human population or less. So, yeah, as a result, I'm going to... Oh, and of course, they've never mentioned Tibet or Tibetan Buddhism or Dalai Lama in any mainstream movie or TV show since Kundun. So this movie marked the end of an era in Hollywood in which Tibetan Buddhism exists, and the beginning of the era of let's not make anything that China doesn't like, which of course has taken many forms since then and is completely and utterly taken for granted. One fun example is how in Doctor Strange, the comic book, he goes to Kathmandu and meets with a Tibetan master called
the Ancient One.
And when they made the movie version, they had him go to Kathmandu and meet with a bald white lady. Don't want to make any reference to the existence of Tibet or anything. So Disney, you're on the wrong side of history. Fix it. Tibet is a thing. It exists. You should depict it from time to time in your movies. That's my opinion, and that's the end of my editorial about that. So we're going to set all that aside and just enjoy a sincerely made, beautiful Martin Scorsese, Dalai Lama biopic. So I'm going to have to do this thing where it's a little bit transparent in the background. I mean, I'm going to try to do little tricks, those tricks that reaction channels do here and there to avoid the copyright infringement. The sons of Genghis Khan gave the Dalai Lama his name. It means ocean of wisdom. In a war-torn Asia, Tibetans have practiced nonviolence for over 1,000 years. The Dalai Lama is their ruler. He is the human manifestation of the Buddha of compassion. In 1933, the 13th Dalai Lama died. 4 years later, a holy man, disguised as a servant, found himself in a far corner of Tibet. He was searching for the 14th Dalai Lama. His search was almost at an end. A Buddha had been reborn. By the way, if you have one of those illicit
Tell me.
Again?
Tell me.
ways of getting movies, you can search for this and find it.
We thought you would die. Some of our animals had died.
Cow?
Yes, a cow, a horse, a yak, and chickens. We had 4 years of bad crops. All the farmers did.
Yes.
Then one night, I knew you were coming. And at dawn, you were born.
Tell me.
You didn't cry.
No cry.
No, you didn't cry. And that day, your father got bitter.
The mother's voice and her face, that actress is the niece of the real-life Dalai Lama. That's the Dalai Lama's niece in real life.
Me.
No.
Me.
No, this must stop.
Me here.
No, I'm the father. You are the child. You sit there.
He wants to sit at the head of the table.
Me. Sit here.
Past life memories,
No.
perhaps?
Oh, what's the harm? Let him sit where he wants.
You grew up all wrong. Only you can serve him. Only you can touch his food. Too clean. Can you stop that? Remember, child, right back with you to the monastery.
Thank you, Father.
There were crows. I just remembered. There were crows.
When?
The morning Hamu was born, do you remember? You were sick and I brought him to you. You said we'll call him Hamu, and you went to pray. I slept and later went outside and saw them. A pair of crows had come to nest on our roof, as if they had come for Hamu.
Just as they did for the Dalai Lama.
What kind of bug is that? Oh, they were stuck. I'm always worried that'll happen to me when I wear sunglasses, that I'll get tan everywhere except for right there. Compassion. Okay, so here comes the Lama who's tasked with finding the reincarnation of the Dalai Lama.
to Lhasa.
Oh, please come in, it's so cold.
He recognizes him. Tiger's eye. I think I have one. Somewhere.
This is mine.
Correct.
I will give it to you if you know who I am.
Llama. Mine.
Now go.
那时候他们也去练家舞。
Lhasa. He always says he wants to go to Lhasa. Hamu.
Here's the test.
Thank you for joining us. You say this is yours? What else belongs to you?
Yeah, I know them by sound too.
Yes, those are yours.
Mine, 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 mine.
Yes, Kundun.
That's the name of the movie. Dad doesn't approve.
This is mine. Mine. I need this. This is mine. Wanting it.
Come on, Tamu. We have to leave now.
You must be a very high Lama, a great Tibetan monk. So this is a good thing. Don't be scared. You're not the first boy to be discovered like this, and certainly not the last. I will never let harm come to you.
Who said you could sit here?
What's this now?
He has grown from the baby you sent me to find, Excellency. He's very strong, very inquisitive, a little afraid. He is waiting to meet the man who discovered him.
We are going to shave your head now. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, Rinpoche. Come here, come here. We are going to cut your hair. Come on. Come here, come here.
What?
Can you recite? May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world, until everyone is healed. Can you remember? May I be the protector for those without one? May I be a bridge, a boat, a ship for all who wish to cross the water.
Centuries ago, a boy was born in Tibet. His name was Kundun Full. The night of his birth, robbers came to his home, and his family had to run to save their lives. They hid the baby. When they returned the next day, the baby was alive. he was guarded by a pair of black crows. He was the first. He was generous. We call him Kundun. I saw you in a vision. I am dreading your regent. I found you, it was difficult, but you left me good signs. I hope it was not too long a wait, Kundun. You have chosen to come back to this life once more. You will stay as long as you can, and then you will come again. You will be born again and again as long as old life continues. You are here to love all living things. Just love them, care for them, have compassion for them. As long as any living thing draws breath, wherever he shall be, there in compassion shall the Buddha appear. Compassion, the wish-fulfilling jewel, the 14th Dalai Lama.
His brother. His older brother has to bow to him. He's very happy about it.
Your Holiness, I am Pala, your Lord Chamberlain, to serve you however I can. 5th Dalai Lama. Seventh Dalai Lama. Thirteenth Dalai Lama. And when you come of age, you will hold the Great Seal.
He must hold it now.
Oh, very auspicious, 14th Dalai Lama.
I'm on a big mountain hitting a man.
I am braver.
I have more men.
I have smarter men. I have all the men. Today you lose, Kundun. Tomorrow you may win. Things change, Kundun.
Wetting is asking too much from us. How much more land and money do we have to give him for finding the boy? It comes from our pockets. And then there are the gifts and the estates to offer the Dalai Lama's family.
Look at Father.
Our purses are empty. Our army is depleted. The region is asking for too high a reward for finding the Dalai Lama. He would have us pull the hairs from our noses.
Surely you're not suggesting that the cost for finding the boy comes from Redding's own pocket. He didn't ask for this position. He'd rather be at his hermitage in retreat.
With all his women?
The great 13th. Can't we all see him in the face of this beautiful child? He dared to be reborn right on the Chinese border. It's as if he took a scarf and threw it as far as he could, so it landed in Ando, right smack in the face of China. And he said, "This is Tibet. I will be born here."
I don't like it here.
This is an old, dark place, but you will like the summer palace better. There are gardens, animals, like deer and dogs, little bears and birds, peacocks.
Elephants?
No, but a river and a lake.
Fish.
Many fish.
Oh, this must be their summer palace?
Small ones first. Wait. Big ones don't eat. No. When the small one finish.
Holiness, will you take the head of the table?
That's your place.
Ah.
Now that he has his own palace, he doesn't have to sit at the head of
is
his
not supposed to eat pork.
father's
It's
table.
bad for your brain. Go study. I get in trouble if you don't study.
The oracle has told me that if I don't leave Lhasa and devote myself to prayer, my life will be cut short.
Please, do it right away, Redding.
You agree I should resign?
Yes, Excellency, I do. The people are saying, how can Redding give the Dalai Lama his vows if he has not kept them himself? He has left your service. Another regent will be chosen.
I don't understand.
It's not for your years, Holiness.
Why not for my ears?
I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha.
I want you to be my new regent. That is an order.
He's not allowed to hear the whole
The
truth,
procedure, the
but he has
Buddha,
ultimate
Dharma,
authority.
Sangha,
Okay,
until I attain enlightenment.
now he'll say it. I think it's meant to show things from his perspective.
Oh no, but they found them. The gifts from the West. These things. The great 13th Dalai Lama.
I don't want you to go.
His brother, I think.
They are old now. You'll be fine.
I'll miss you.
You are a good Dalai Lama.
I see a safe journey. I see a safe return.
Liars! Fools! You learned nothing. 5 forms of degeneration. The red ideology. Danger from within and without. Heed the warning of your predecessor, or the war will end here.
Is that what he said? Yeah, we have a letter.
The 13th Dalai Lama wrote this letter a year before he died, before you were born. When I reached the age of 18, I was called upon to accept the responsibility of serving as spiritual and secular head of the country. The responsibility was by no means small, and it weighed heavily upon my mind. And then the Chinese invaded.
There was really nothing much we could do other than pray. Our prayers were soon answered. For the power of truth is great and karma infallible. We routed the Chinese out. It may happen that here in Tibet, religion and government will be attacked. The monasteries will be looted and destroyed, and the monks and nuns killed or chased away. We will become like slaves to our conquerors and made to wander helplessly like beggars.
What can I do? I'm only a boy.
You are the man who wrote this letter. You are the man who has come back to lead us. You will soon have great responsibilities. You must know what to do.
No pressure.
But to a single B-29 over the Japanese city of Hiroshima, it was the beginning of a new era for civilization.
As a result of previous karma, you have obtained this human life. Oh, ignorant one, do not fall asleep now. I can't see. What is happening? It's my friend. Leave him alone. Nobu, what is happening?
Rating Rinpoche has been arrested.
Rating?
Kundun, I'm sorry. This is not for your eyes.
Why not for my eyes? Summon the Kashak.
No.
What happened to Redding?
It is very complicated, Holiness.
Tell me.
Redding Rinpoche thought he could return as regent. This was no longer possible, Holiness. There was an attempt on Thakra Rinpoche's life.
Really?
Redding was arrested. The Sera monks fought today on Redding's behalf.
The monks have guns?
In this case, yes, Holiness.
I didn't know monks had guns.
No, of course not, Holiness.
There's a movie just came out in Bhutan, A Monk and a Gun.
Where is Redding Rinpoche now?
He is imprisoned here at the Putala, Holiness.
There's a prison in the Putala?
There has always been a prison here, Holiness.
I think there's some things we need to change here in Tibet.
Your Holiness, the Chinese are once again trying to convince the world that Tibet belongs to them.
Tibet is Tibet.
For a long time, Holiness, we have agreed to disagree. We knew, and we knew that they knew.
Now they are trying to rewrite history.
How unfortunate. Can India help us? They know we are not a part of China.
India is a newly independent nation. They are struggling. They are in no position to help us.
And so Mao Zedong has called for all-out war. He will settle for nothing less than a red China. Will the Iron Curtain descend over Asia as it has over Russia and Eastern Europe?
Mao Zedong has presented Tibet with 3 demands. 1, Tibet must accept that it is part of China. 2, Tibet's defenses must be conducted by China. 3, all political and trade matters concerning foreign countries must be conducted through China.
If we agree to the first point, that Tibet is part of China, then nothing else will matter.
We will buy them! We will buy them!
What would you do, Takht Radha?
I am only a bug.
I would reject all 3 points. I would say we accept no conditions from the Chinese. We should hear what the people have to say. I will consult our protective deities.
Your Holiness.
Yes?
The Chinese have invaded.
This week began the peaceful liberation of Tibet. Members of the People's Liberation Army have entered this western region of China at the urging of the Tibetan minority. Long a stronghold of imperialists, the Tibetan people have found themselves living in a feudal kingdom under the tyranny of the Dalai Lama. As the People's Army moves toward the capital of Lhasa, the local peasants gratefully welcome their liberators and happily join the crusade.
Tibet will call on the West for help. I am sending delegations to America and Great Britain, as well as India, in hope that these countries will recognize our independence. Lukangwa and Lobsang Tashi, I am making you my prime ministers. Send a delegation to China. We will begin to make plans for reforms and modernization. Today, I declare a general amnesty. Free the prisoners.
Goodbye, Kunde.
We will move the government to Dunga Monastery near the Indian border. We will wait there for the world's response to our crisis.
Where are you from?
Come, Holiness.
Warriors.
We have that, Holiness.
My army and the Kambas. They fight with almost nothing. No airplanes, No trucks, no weapons, nothing. No one can stop them, not even me.
They fight for you, Holiness. Are they wrong?
Violence is never good. Every result, be it good or bad, it had a cause.
Why have they come, Holiness? What did we do that is bad?
Non-violence takes a long time.
Do we have the time, Holiness?
I have never known. Let's do away with some of these formalities. It's enough now. Stop, please.
Holiness, your Nepalese visitors, it appears they've brought you an elephant.
An elephant?
Yes, Kundun, an elephant.
Is it here now?
They have it with them.
How fortunate.
In Peking, representatives from Tibet and the People's Republic signed a 17-point agreement returning Tibet to the motherland. The Dalai Lama's representatives have signed the agreement in his name and with his best wishes for Tibet's speedy reunification with the motherland.
May I present General Chang Chin-wu.
Chairman Mao asked me to convey his respect. I have been instructed to provide you with this copy of the 17-point agreement for your signature.
I thought he would be some kind of monster, even with horns growing out of his head. But he's only a man, just an ordinary human being, like myself.
They are the worst of the worst. They are worse than ghosts.
We were like you. We were an isolated country. Then trade began. For spices, silks, tea. But there was nothing that we the Chinese wanted from the West. So they gave us something to want. Opium. We craved opium. They tried to use it to destroy us. The imperialists. We are here to rescue you from imperialists, or they'll do the same to you.
You cannot imagine sitting here what I came from. The floods, the famines were so bad. China was fragmented. Society was crumbling. There was a day before the war when I came upon a man with a dead baby. He was going to cook it. He shouted. It died. I did not kill it. It died. That is what it was like in China before Chairman Mao.
We believe that the time has come for you to go to India. India is our friend. You'll be safe there. The Americans will help us, Holiness. You've read their letter?
That letter is unsigned. It is not a real promise. China is close. America's far away. Many Tibetans could die, and China would still be close.
If you stay in Tibet, we cannot guarantee your safety, Holiness.
If you flee, Holiness, you might never be able to return.
We've managed the Chinese for many years.
These are not the Chinese we know, Holiness. These are communists.
The fifth Dalai Lama joined an alliance with the Chinese. And a great spiritual revolution began in the East.
A spiritual revolution? Does it begin like this?
Friends, who is the fifth Dalai Lama now? Things change. Our own short lifetimes are not the only consideration. My first and foremost duty is to protect my people.
They have burned homes, bullied people like they did me. They think they let me come. They let me go because...
Tell me.
The Chinese believe I've agreed to kill you.
Kill me?
I am to convince the Dalai Lama to agree to their rule. And if I cannot convince you, they believe I will kill you.
They think my own brother will kill me? They believe that?
I hate meeting up here. This place is a tribute to the past. And another thing, I want the songs stopped.
Songs? What songs?
Street songs about General Tang. They are singing about his gold watch. He's right. They are quite insulting.
We have no authority to ban singing in our country.
I accept your resignations.
Have you chosen your new Prime Minister's Holiness?
There will be no new Prime Ministers.
Britain, Nepal, America, India. All of those governments have refused to meet with our representatives.
And the United Nations?
The United Nations voted not to hear our appeal.
So, we must face China and her might all alone?
I'm afraid so. We have no choice but to negotiate. The Chinese must come to Lhasa.
Times are desperate, Pala. We can go to Peking.
The news of the People's Liberation Army's march into Tibet was enthusiastically supported by all sections of the population. In particular, Tibetans in all parts of China jubilantly celebrated the news and demanded their return to the motherland. The mission of China is to bring progress to Tibet. We welcome you, Tibet, back to the motherland. Tibet is a great land, a wonderful history. Long ago, you even conquered a part of China. But now, you have fallen behind, and we want to help you. In 20 years' time, you could be ahead of us. And then, it will be your turn to help China. You know, my mother was a Buddhist. I have a great respect for your Lord Buddha. He was anti-caste, anti-corruption, anti-exploitation. For some,
true.
Politics and religion can mix.
I think socialism and Buddhism have some things in common.
She will be fine, Your Holiness. The climate does not agree with her.
He has made important promises.
As you say.
Thank you for coming so late.
I leave tomorrow.
Yes, I know. How has your stay been?
Very interesting. Your factories are very impressive, and I enjoyed that.
You have a lot to learn. How to draw out people's opinions and make decisions. Instruct your young Tibetans. When I make contact with you, I want to reach you through a Tibetan, not a Chinese.
Very good. I agree with some of your ideas. For years, we have been reforming our monasteries and reorganizing...
Your attitude is good, you know. I understand you well. But you need to learn this. Religion is poison. Poison. Like a poison, it weakens the race. Like a drug, it retards the mind of people and society. The opiate of the people. Tibet has been poisoned by religion, and your people are poisoned and inferior. Let me walk you to your car.
I admire them so. They face a modern, equipped army, and still they fight.
I have always asked for just plain information.
The Chinese have bombed the monastery of Letang. It has been destroyed. They throw rocks from aeroplanes. Nuns and monks are made to fornicate in the streets. They put their guns in the hands of our Kampa children and force the child to kill the parent. Resistance must come from outside Tibet, Kundun.
We will be moving Chinese families into Tibet territory. Farmers, 40,000. A revolt has broken out in the east. We have decided that the Tibetan army must be used against the Kampa guerrillas.
General Tan, our people would never. You do not understand our people.
I will not approve that. You have bombed on peaceful people.
It is my job to deal with reactionaries.
No, we are peace-loving people.
We are here to heal the people of Tibet. You need reform. We are here to liberate you.
No, Buddha is our physician, General Tan. He will heal us. Wisdom and compassion will set us free. You cannot liberate me, General Tan. I can only liberate myself. Where there is no crossing a big river, no fords, no shallows. Where the only hope is a boat, and there is no boat. I will put a boat, Kundun. The wish-fulfilling jewel will shine from the west.
We have a letter. May I?
Please.
If the Dalai Lama and a few trusted officers can stay within the inner wall and inform General Tan exactly which building you will occupy, we certainly intend that this building not be damaged.
They're going to bomb us.
Apparently.
Well, we want no mistakes.
He adds as a postscript, the Chinese have taken the strictest measure to prevent your escape. Go. Tonight. Go.
I'll fight them. I'll get a gun and fight them.
I'm so confused. I'm told we have to make a journey, but no one tells me when or where. How will go if you are going?
Just go ahead. The saddest thing is, we were about to change. We were going to do it alone. We were just about to do it alone.
I'll go to war.
The Dalai Lama does not believe in war. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the lamp of Dharma for all bewildered in the gloom of misery.
Inspection. Move aside. Move aside. Move aside. Let us through. Move aside. Let us through. We have time. We have time. Move aside. Let us through.
With folded hands, I beseech all the Buddhas who wish to pass away to please remain for countless eons, and not to leave the world in darkness. My foes will become nothing. My friends will become nothing. I too will become nothing. Likewise, all will become nothing. Beings are released through the teachings of the truth, the final reality.
Kundun, you must walk to India. We have won.
Thus, by the virtue that has collected through all that I have done, may the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away.
With all respect, sir, may I ask, who are you?
What you see before you is a man, a simple monk.
Are you the Lord Buddha?
I think I am a reflection, like the moon on water. When you see me, and I try to be a good man, see yourself.
Must be Dharamshala. Or meant to be The Dalai Lama has not yet returned to Tibet. He hopes to one day make the journey. That was true in 1997, and it's still true in 2023. Well, thank you, Martin Scorsese. You don't need to watch all the credits. Thank you, Melissa Matheson. Yes, all of that. All right. Well, that was it. That was the movie, Kundun. Every once in a while we do these movie reactions. We did one a while ago for Shanzan, monk who came in the 600s or the 6th century from China to India and brought back the Mahayana scriptures. Back when China was cool. My dad was born there, and his longtime listeners will know all that stuff. My grandpa used to have to hide from the communists before they took over because he was on the imperialist side of things. So I don't know if proud is the right word, but I don't know. It does my heart good to know that I'm here in the same country as the Dalai Lama, where he's been safe and protected since the day depicted in this movie, and may he live for many years to come. All right, well, I don't really have much more to say. I know regular movie reactions, you're supposed to comment through the whole thing, and YouTube will even scrutinize whether you commented enough to be considered a movie reaction and all this kind of thing. But I really just wanted you to see the movie as much as possible. The actual movie's 2 hours long, so this is obviously cut down quite a bit and made a little bit transparent so that you could see the bookshelf through the... Anyway. All right. I also hope to one day go to Tibet. I hope that I haven't burned all possible bridges to go there. Like my name will come up with a little flag next to it if I go back into China's territory. But I did go to see where my dad was born, Shanghai, and where my grandpa worked for 20 years or however long he was there. But yeah, one day, maybe one day. But it feels like gold in my heart to go to places like Sikkim and Darjeeling and even places where there's Tibetan temples here in India, all over the world really, but especially all over India, north, south, east, west. So anyway, I don't know what else to say other than just to sit here and ramble on. So I will go ahead and see. Got the Darjeeling flags here. I will wish you the best. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe if you liked it. And next time, episode 198 of Buddhist Books Podcast, we'll get back to our regularly scheduled Tipitaka recitals of pre-sectarian early Buddhism. I will go ahead and close with my usual prayer. I mean, it's not my prayer, but it's the prayer my father taught me. To the north and to the south, to the east and to the west, to the spirits of light among us and to the spirits below, we send out our reverent love and compassion. May all beings be happy. May all beings be serene. May all beings be in peace. Until next time.
course, it goes without saying that I would like to visit Tibet. I wish they could get their country back and the Dalai Lama could return. Oh, I would like that very much.